really strong recently. I'm surprised that they're in here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the top 5, both of them in the top 5.
That's cool. I got you. Another team that I've been keeping an eye close eye on is the Phase team. You know, we've got Snipedon who historically has a ton of experience in Apex, but their team hasn't quite proved themselves yet. Even though they have Slurp, who is an aim god, and you have Abrelli, who has all the experience too. So you get three of these really really high skilled players together, and we're still waiting to see if they can consistently perform. So that's another team I'd be keeping a close eye on.
Okay, okay, and the players are in the dropship. Game 1 has officially started. Can we see some hype in chat? Let's go. Let's hope for some spicy gameplay, some spread out fights so we can see all of the action. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're just turning on the stream, you are seeing the very, very first game. Players are still in the air flying in, and you can already see that we're going to have a beautiful north side end.
No contested areas on the map. Everyone is pretty well confirmed a drop spot here. We do have only one team in Commetizer. That is one area that you see oftentimes contested because it is a pretty juicy spot. No teams really taking Geyser except for just one person looting it. So, yeah, everyone has a really, really nice spread on the map right now and should get pretty solid loot. So, no shenanigans yet in game one.
Okay, and we're taking a look over at 100 Thieves as they are looting up. 100 Thieves typically land over in Skyhook, typically have somewhat of a safe drop. Triple white shields on them right now. I know they're not happy with that yet, but they have plenty of time. The other team that is also right up near them in Skyhook is going to be Tripods. But let's go ahead and jump to the other side of the map and we can see a little bit better loot as we are looking at a beautiful aerial view of Big Mod.
Yeah, let's see. We've seen 100 Thieves attack tripods quite often in Skyhook, so that's one potential early fight that we might be seeing. And 100 Thieves were feeling pretty confident about that fight. I could tell for a few weeks, but if you recall, tripods started putting up a pretty good fight, and it scuffed a few of the tournaments for 100 Thieves. So maybe they're second guessing that early fight against tripods in Skyhook.
Yep. Well, teams like Karasuno, they do have a really far way to trek as this map, we said it did look like it was heading to a north end zone. The Senox Crust alongside Dupe there, probably going to opt to go through the tunnel. If they do, they might go right up against 100 Thieves and or Tripods.
Think about Dupe filling in.
I love it. Really strong fill. Hey, I'll have Dupe fill in anytime. Anytime there's an opening, yeah. I feel like he's just such a solid player. Dupe is someone that I've even had the pleasure of playing with that he can play with many a different levels of players. The fact that I remember we had a glorious rank grind with him not too long ago, and there they are already facing 100 Thieves, not where I thought they were going to, but Andrew, there's a third party nearby. You saw there was a team coming from the survey area as well.
Yeah, it's a really popular building right there. It does have the survey beacon on the roof. So you will often see multiple teams heading for that really early on to try to get a good Valk flight into a safe spot. And it does look like Sentinels with Dupe on board today did get that scan first. So all the other teams that were trying to get there no longer have any idea where the map is heading.
All right, it looks like we're being told it's not Dupe, maybe just a troll name. It's a duplicate on Dupe. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, these players often do name changes, and so most of the time, you
We're
don't
not.
know who the hell is
Yes.
actually playing.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. We're not giving that information. If they change their name, we know that we know what name they're using, and that's all the information we have. But
Yeah, we didn't have any difficult calls with the team today, so I'm unaware of any potential
fake dupe indeed. All right, taking a couple of shots across the way, not connecting those shots as they wanted to. So I'm not sure if they're going to want to move up on this, but they're going to. They're in a little bit of a pickle here. And they're going to push this. Andrew, it's always ballsy to be the first two teams fighting, especially in an area like Fragment, which is so central on the map, and with every single team alive. And I do already see our very first knock, and that's going to be on Guild.
Guild in the chat. We know Guild is one of the best roller players in the game. Going down first here, and it does look like we have a pretty spicy fight. Great double crack with the flat line there. It's a pretty good call out. And we do have Smiley looking like they might take this win here, as it is a 2v2 at the moment, actually. Really good wingman shots.
And they
And
eliminate Stormtroopers. They did
Stormtroopers.
lose Sang in the process, but they're going to be able to res him, hopefully before any third parties can make their way up here. And you know what? With all the Catalyst goop at both sides of the door, it would kind of take a while before you could break in there anyway.
Ooh, Tripod's taking some damage. They're in the tunnel in the very back near the zip line. We all know that area pretty well, and it does look like they're being pushed back. Gent going down. You do not want to see that for Tripods. Gent, one of the key reasons for their recent success, and it does look like they might have to take the zip line out of here unless they can get a quick knock or some huge damage here, or they might stay in 2v3 this. But worst case, they can take the zip and try to get out of here. So we'll see what they're gonna do. Jigga, what would you do?
Nick is providing some awesome cover fire. I would stay hold ground. You know, there's a wide open area that they would kind of have to push across. As long as Deeds and Nick can just, you know, keep on those little headies right there, they should be able to, look at this, grab the banner, take a bit of damage in the process, but now you dip. Now
Okay.
it's time to get the heck out of there. Okay, this little no-name here, Seer ult is down. Luminosity Gaming going right up against another squad.
Yeah, Luminosity, they're all in the back corner. They have a Caustic? Yeah, they do have a Caustic, so they're just all sitting in the very back, and they're full pushing out into the garage. I think that might be a bad play. They probably thought they had one person singled out, but it was the entire team in the garage. They might pay for that swing, and it does look like NRO 2v2 situation here.
All right, Rocker healing up. Gonna hide behind his teammate's knockdown shield and maybe try to get a res here. Both teams doing some. ESA eliminated in the kill feed at the same time. LG also doing a little bit of a reset healing. Maybe getting a couple of gas traps down. RE45, I would say LG. I don't know how they lose this fight here. And this gun is the reason why. And dodging that seer scan is so huge. To not have those wall hacks on your entire body for the next 6 or 7 seconds. It's just a deal breaker when that happens.
You see, LG had one of them knocked, and
Yes.
they were unable to push, I think because of the Horizon Tactical in the doorway. Really good use of the Horizon Tactical. If you're fighting in a building like that, especially in that particular building, you can't really get to the garage quickly unless you walk all the way around. So the Horizon Tactical really, really useful there to block the door.
Okay, I see a ring of fire, and that makes me so excited because I love Fuse. That arc does get the crack and the knock on Messiah, and Elevate's going to want to walk up on this. They have them surrounded from the front and the back here. Impulse knocked, and Rack out.
Rack out, and we do have NRO, the team that was just fighting in the no-name over near Fragment. They are going to push up here and try to get this third party, and it does look like we are getting Mercy down. Naughty with the impeccable car shots, going to go try to heal up, and they're going to 3v2 whatever team is left over here.
All right. I cannot stand fighting in the zone, but here we have it.
It's not looking good.
It is not looking good. Cyril down, having to dodge that grenade. Great shots. A high ground, 2 players right below. I think NRO can pull this off.
Yeah, for sure. This is looking like a pretty easy fight. Is E8 is eliminated there, and that was a third party. And LG coming in to fourth party, and it does look like NRO might pay for that. All fighting in the zone here. LG said, hey, if you're going to third party, we're going to be the fourth party. And NRO eliminated there. So back to back to back third parties. LG is going to be the last party involved. And so they're going to get the spoils. They're going to have about 6 to 9 loot boxes. And they're feeling pretty good about it.
Why are so many teams down at Geyser right now? That was just disgusting of how much death we just witnessed right down there. They have a far trek to make, and they're going to not run into anyone. As you can already see, pretty much everyone else is in the next zone. I think this is the spot to be, and we should see FaZe here. They're going to try to take some of this loot, and they're going to have a 3v3 as they walk up.
Yeah.
Both teams trying to grab height, but you can see the charge rifle from CLG. I believe someone on CLG, it looked like, was shooting with the charge rifle from so far away. Kind of griefing that fight.
Yeah, whenever you're about to have a 3v3 like that, you're always looking around to see if there's a potential third party. And right when the charge rifle shots came in from the third party, both teams back way up. They know even if they win that fight, they're probably just going to die to that third party. So no point in fighting.
All right, FaZe wanting to walk up on this. I don't think they have any kills yet. One of the players is Flesh. They can be aggressive here. Snipe
Yeah.
down leading the play.
That 301 long distance aim is something else. We're going in here with Snipe down with the wingman.
That charge rifle's still griefing them in the back, though. That's going to be a bit of an issue.
Pushing up to the car, trying to take some space, looking at the fingertips and no heartbeats around. So it does look like they pushed whatever team that was off into the distance, and they're going to take the bridge. Although it's not even in zone, they're just trying to clear their back really quick.
Okay. We are already down quite a few teams. I feel like this has been an aggressive start to the first game. Sometimes we see that. I feel like first game jitters almost, or, you know, depending on the zone. But look at this staging. Every single building is already occupied at staging. We already see the tunnel is more than double occupied. HEC hanging out here. I like this position that they're in. And they're going to just try to prevent any team from pushing in the backside of the tunnel.
That's a winning spot right there. We see a lot of teams win once they get the spot, especially if they have a Watson and they can kind of hold it down.
I
One
fully
thing
agree.
they have to watch for is that rock right above them is an oob, and the team can drop right on their heads. Furia is fighting 100 Thieves and looks like it is a 2v3 situation, and Furia looks like they're dominating this fight as they push in. 100 Thieves trapped inside the trailer and on Flesh. Onmu going down, and they're just going to barge in and finish up the 100 Thieves just like that. It's just so easy the way they do it.
Wow, Furia with 7 kills already this game. I am pretty sure they are frying this game.
Did you see what comp? Yeah, they have a Bangalore Bangalore Bloodhound, dude. If I could pay I'd pay someone if my team would run that.
Okay, I get the hint. Every single night this
Bangalore
man asked me to
Bloodhound. I mean,
run.
it is-
Every single
Bangalore
night this man
Bloodhound
asked me to
is
play Bloodhound.
Such a fun combination for aggressive fighting.
Sentinel's in a great spot. Sentinel's playing for late game. I love it. Now they didn't have to travel far from where they landed. You can also see MPS flying in right now. Not sure if there's anywhere available for them. They're gonna probably take the backside, but HEC might have a line of sight on them as they try to fight for a north side. And they lost Pow Pow in the process. Pow Pow, I'm not sure how he got called out, but oof, you do not want to lose your Newcastle. One of the legends that provides such amazing cover for the rest of the team with all of his abilities. And they're going to try to get this res. HEC could be aggressive and walk up, but there is still another team in the tunnel, so I doubt they want to lose their position.
HEC is going to stay put. FaZe is going to try to get a little bit of an angle over here and see what they can do. We have Smiley also heading over to Beacon Building, which is already claimed by Furia. They're just sitting on the beacon, gobbling up the zone knowledge. And it does look like they maybe... No, they have been seen. There's going to be no sneak attack here. Smiley going to take a couple shots, maybe trying to level up armor here, but probably a fight they don't want to take at this point. I imagine they're going to Valk over, but they don't have a Valk, interestingly. They're opting to use a Catalyst instead of a Valk.
All right, Sang down, very low health, only about 60 health to his name. But Smiley and Furia, 2 of the leading teams so far this game, they both have the most kills. So, you know what? They're both feeling pretty good. I don't know if they're fighting the team that has a few more kills than them, but let's take a look from Furia as Panders is on the ult, and you just cannot stop a Bloodhound on their ult. But you know what? Someone is giving him a run for his money, and Smiley go down in that fight right there. More kills to Furia's name as they're going to make their way into the next zone.
To me, that was like poking a bee's nest.
I don't
know.
know.
You walk up, you poke, you poke, and then they just swarm you. I don't see... They didn't really have any good positioning.
Who were the bees? Furia?
Furia were the bees, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I understood the analogy.
There wasn't really... Once they saw that they didn't have it sneak attack, they couldn't 3-2-1 somebody, they didn't have really big entry damage. I don't know. I don't like the position they were fighting off of.
Okay, can Furia hold off Luminosity Gaming now? Luminosity looking at them. They're out in the open. Yanya played so well in yesterday's tournament. Was really happy. I saw this man right here have many a 1v3s in the TSM tournament. The random Royale event. He must still be feeling pretty good from that.
iPod's playing pretty split. They're trying to hold down the entrance to that tunnel as well as potentially take shots at this building where Furia is located. And yeah, they're pinging it. Now they're all 3 pushing up, so they might be getting back shots on Furia right now. And yeah, free shots on the back of Furia. Nick Merckx going down in the process. His Watson absolutely one-magging Nick Merckx there. So yeah, once again, the bee's nest is being poked and immediately paying for it. Furia is eliminated. They were sandwiched there. So whichever team they were fighting on the bridge,
It was
LG did end up cleaning them up. So
okay, Yanya. Oh
Okay.
my, is that not one of the most satisfying Apex things you could possibly see? I love
Right.
watching this man's POV. You could just keep me on his POV for the rest of the tournament and I would be happy. Great shots out of Yanya. LG in a low ground, usually not a good spot to be, but you know what? I dare anyone to drop on him. Try him.
Gent can't be mad at that. That was some roller on roller violence right there. Yanya, one of the absolute best aimers in the game right now. We saw last night Yanya in the 100K tournament was doing more of the same, absolutely demolishing people. So Yanya has definitely had the energy drink and plenty of sleep.
All right, they're going through it a bit right now, but Gibby, love to see Gibby back on World's Edge for comp. Gives the team a nice little safe space for a short amount of time. No bubble for a bit now, though, but so they are extremely vulnerable as they have to rotate without that extra cover. But we're down to 10 squads. Half of the lobby, exactly half of the lobby is eliminated.
Tripods do get Nick back up. They're going to rotate around through the tunnel, and they do have a spot they can play in the top side. It's definitely not pulling up there. At some point, they're going to have to slide down that hill into survey camp, which is a, you know, it's a fun slide, but it's often a deadly slide. They're going to have to fight, actually, for the entrance of the tunnel. Nice 102 there from Sorcerer, and this is FA. Tripods is close by. This is FA, and then that could be Tripods in the tunnel entrance there.
Those are some great shots out of first attempt, as you just saw there. The ult was down. They're going to have to dodge some of these grenades. And this is a fight that cannot be avoided. These two teams have to fight. You see at the map where there's only one little opening to the choke. And you know what? Both teams are probably going to die shortly after this fight. It's just a matter of who can get these kill points. Nick with just a sliver of health. Deeds with a sliver of health.
They do have a nice little box they can play here. All the grenades have been thrown. FA is eliminated, and it does look like Tripod's going to go out as well here as the third party. No, it's a 1v. I only
Nick
see one
and Deeds
person
are
up.
still alive.
Yeah, it's a 2v1.
Nick and Deeds still alive. They have no health, really. Hardly any health. They cannot strafe over into the zone at all. Oh, Deeds. Deeds is swinging wide, and they do clean it up. Karasuno eliminated. Tripods are going to be able to get a reset, drop the shield swaps, and no one's pushing up. No one can push up on this. What a good fight. Good patience out of Tripods.
Yeah, they got pretty lucky there. They had one box that they could play, and it ended up pinching two teams together, and they were able to clean that up. Yeah, Tripods with a really nice fight there.
All right. Luminosity Gaming. I don't know how they got eliminated, but they absolutely just did right there. And you can see Snipe Down backing up to heal. They do have to walk into the next zone. 6 squads left. We're about to see some of the final fights.
What do you think about the fighting so far, Jig? It's been
the fighting has been
nice and spread out.
It has been. I want to say thank you to all the players for spreading your fights out. I feel like we've seen every single bit of the action, and it's been nonstop action. I love this.
There are some games where everyone tries to play end zone and there's literally no fights, and then everyone fights at the same time, so there's absolutely nothing to watch. But they've been giving us a really good show so far. I appreciate it.
All right, pretty late Valk ult. Where are FaZe going to go? They're going to try to take a snowy edge here outside of the building. I like this position. Now, someone could get aggressive and take their high ground. They might try to play a little bit split.
Really like the Jin right there. Yeah, you can see it's already eating a bunch of tactical missiles from a Valkyrie. They're probably going to play right on that Watson Jin. That's a super strong character to have late game for that exact reason.
Yeah, FaZe already with 7 kills, I'm pretty sure, and a couple of teams here just frying. FaZe so far the leading team with points. Oh no, excuse me, they're tied with Tripods. FaZe and Tripods have the same number of kills. All right, this is going to be a big game, and will definitely set the pace for the rest of the tournament. One team do you see them all bunched together in there, Andrew? Not even, they said it's not even worth it. That is bots. Bots. It's so hard to push. No fences down there. I'm not sure if the fences have been getting blown up, but you know, oh, that's so weird. In that third person, now I see all the fences. on OXG's trailer. Bots didn't have as many in theirs. CLG and FaZe. One wall separating them.
Yeah, that's the problem. You can see the zone's going to pull to the center of the survey camp. And so FaZe that we're watching right now knows they're going to have to fight CLG in the building at some point. They're trying to get entry damage, trying to do something, but they're probably... The zone's going to close in 7 seconds, and they're just going to be smushed into each other, and it's not going to be good.
I think they're going to probably just try to grab height of the building and just slowly walk it in. You see they're pinging. They want to go to the left side of the circle. That makes sense. Avoid the two teams in the trailers and just stay on that side so there's just no one that has the line of sight on them.
With this many teams, your fingers are crossed that the zone pull comes towards you, and when it doesn't, you just have to coin flip and see how many kills you can get and potentially get lucky and get the win. So here we go. FaZe going in, taking the trailer, and Protect will going down. OXG getting big pressure from FaZe here. FaZe is looking for armor swaps. Slurp gets the armor swap, and we're going to get in the building. Super low health. Yeah, FaZe
would be
taking the brunt.
Great if he could get Abrelli back up. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to. He actually might be able to. All right, you can see tripods in an aggressive spot on high ground. That ult is going to give them a little bit of trouble as they're getting slowed down, trying to avoid it. Shooting, it looks like bots. OXG eliminated. And they're desperately trying to get in that little trailer right there. They had poked out to try to do some damage.
And they're looking back at Sentinels who are in the building and going any second to jump out and third party this trailer fights. Here they come. Here comes Sentinels. Actually opting to not jump towards tripods.
It looked like Gent tried to throw a respawn beacon out on the doorway to kind of block them inside. I don't think it ended up going down, but great shots right before going down. Deed's the last person on tripods. Tripods eliminated. CLG also eliminated. Bots, all three players up as they are going to take the dub. And you know what? That trailer play wins. That trailer play wins indeed. Bots, GG.
Yeah, the zone pulled right. That's a trailer they had.
Drop in and loot up in fragment. They are sharing fragment. They're taking the east side. Bots, the winners of last game, do take the west side of fragment. Typically, the east side will have the beacon. It does not look like they have it this time, but we are going to see a lot of... You guys thought we saw a lot of death in Geyser last game. Wait till you see how much death we're going to see there this game. And this is good for OXG, as this is right where they land, and they have crafting, so they need to loot quickly, take every single bit of loot in that area, and probably hold the building that's on the far east. I feel like that's one of the stronger ones.
Yeah, they do also have a beacon in No Name, so they might go grab that as well just to confirm their spot. And yeah, they're looking like gonna be a great position for this. Geysers are really hard POI to get into for the teams that are on the outside. There's only a couple tight chokes that allow entry into Geyser, so you'll probably see the teams rotating super fast this game, faster than normal once they see the Geyser potential. And yeah, it's if you don't get there early, you're pretty much dead because there's only a couple great spots in Geyser, and otherwise you just get gate kept. The chokes are so tight there.
Yep, indeed. And guys, I am keeping a close eye on chat. Please do know that Andrew and I are, we have it up here. We see you guys. We appreciate you guys keeping the hype, keeping the spam up with this. And first and foremost, we appreciate you guys being here so much for this qualifier. Okay, MPS moving in, trying to rotate around quickly.
Got everyone frantically running towards the Geyser. Gonna probably smash into each other any second. MPS, Pow Pow Madness, Shubi Tubi actually been having some really good results recently, so. Running the Loba. Newcastle. Okay. Valkyrie. I've seen oftentimes Watson with the Newcastle is pretty good too as well. So yeah, Loba's so good for in-game. Especially when there's a lot of teams alive. You can just get endless grenades for those fights. And obviously bullets, heals, all the good stuff. But Watson can be a little weak as you're rotating. Not the best character to fight out in the open with. So that's one risk, is you really, with the Loba, want to get to your in-game spot as quickly as possible so that you don't have to fight any Horizons. That type of Horizon Bloodhound type comp is going to really be hard to fight against as Loba. She doesn't really have any great fighting abilities.
All right, you could see FaZe, they were taking some shots, but Bots is right near them, so I'm not sure if they want to go down that hill, and Sentinel's right behind them. Could pinch FaZe right up here. Sentinel's triple white shields walking up. I don't even think FaZe knows about them right here. And we do have, somehow Dupe is able to talk and chat and also be here in Sentinels. I don't know how this man can do it all. He must have 4 arms.
Toes. It's the toes.
It's the toes? Okay. Okay, good to know. MPS in a bit of a pickle here as Elevate is on high ground. Oh, okay, high ground, but you know what? Sometimes when you're on high ground, you leave yourself exposed to a lot of headshots, and I think that's what happened right there is they do lose Presley. Great knuckle clusters.
E8 getting some work done. They do have Presley back up. It's going to be a 3v2. Yeah, MPS getting the brunt of this right now, and it's going to be a 1v1. I think E8's taking some shots from the back as well.
Okay, Presley is taking shots from the back, but he's going to walk down here, and is he... Look at his health! Presley with the ultimate clutch. MPS eliminated, and E8 was getting, like Andrew said, shot from another team, and you know what? CLG just walk up and just wipe everyone right there. So proud of E8 in that fight, but CLG just have a good cleanup. This is now FaZe fighting NRO. Alba's down.
They've got the armor swaps inside. FaZe out. Yeah, so pretty spicy fight. You saw there was a lot of armor swap potential, and NRO being pushed by another team as well. A really hot spot for fighting, apparently, as a third party. Another third party is coming in. Are NRO going to try to cover Rocker with the cover fire? No, and they're not going to be pushed. But Juka, did you see the soft landing? Did you see the soft landing finish there from E8 right before they died?
I did not see it.
It was the 1v1. The Horizon drops and has the soft landing, which doesn't disrupt your aim or anything.
Oh, so you're saying the gun comes out quickly?
No, you just land and like you have great aim. Some of the other characters, when you land, it like makes your gun shoot up in the air.
Yes, yes. That is something that is often forgotten about with Horizon, and if you're just so used to playing, or you think all legends do that until you play another legend, and you're like, wait, why can I not shoot when I land on the ground for a bit? As your screen shakes. And yeah, that is a huge perk with Horizon. But we've already lost bots. We've lost FaZe, MPS, and E8 out in game 2. Some of the teams that had a lot of points in the first game.
100 Thieves getting a nice, tidy spot. They have a solid composition for holding buildings. They've been showing Newcastle Watson for many weeks now, and they're very comfortable with it. Does look like Smiley is trying to go through the tunnel.
Different comp for Smiley as well. You see Sang is playing Wraith this time around.
Catalyst.
No Catalyst and no Valkyrie. A very interesting comp, but like I said, in a qualifier, this is the time to try it. Guys, this is a qualifier. Top 10 will move forward to the $5,000 final later this week. Getting the crack with that G7, we're going to move over to check out HEC, as Naughty is just frying everybody with a wingman. Avoiding the arc here, hitting the bat, and his team's hopefully going to... Oh, no! I thought it was going to be a good cleanup for them.
Who's to the Watson fence? Osivian trying to clutch up here with the... There's going to be somebody dropping on him right now. Great visibility because of the seer. There is no tricky tactics when you're fighting out of a seer roll. Literally pre-fired him before he even got to the ground.
And Rack is here for the 3P. Rack, very unfortunate shield, so they might have a hard time. They do not. NRO eliminated. I wasn't sure because Rack was so underlooted as far as health goes with those shields. They almost had the same amount of health, even though it was a 3P, just with the double whites. And guys are looking remarkably calm.
13 squads, so we're getting some really early fights here, thinning out the pack, and yeah, that makes it really exciting for watching, for viewing and casting, and it also makes it nice for teams trying to rotate because there's a lot of space available now. You can only see about 6 or 7 teams left outside of Geyser, so not that hard to rotate when there's only 13 teams on the map.
Yeah, we might have a couple of isolated fights as most of the teams make their way in. It looks like ESA is hitting a Valkyrie, going to try to rotate around. And they're opting to go through the big mod area. They have to fly over, it looks like Luminosity, and they might end up taking this fight. A little bit of a oob drop here just to gather their thoughts. That timer is shorter than it used to be, and they have to drop. They do not have long. Still can't believe that you used to be able to shoot and heal when you were out of bounds. That was such a welcome addition to the game.
Skynades coming in. Will we get any next? No, the other team. Oh, 85. That was a far Skynade that actually does land, but you're not going to be really push up on that. LG has really good high ground on the building. More Skynades. I mean, there's a potential the nade blows them off the roof.
No connect with that next one here, but we have ESA versus Luminosity Gaming. Both teams looking for some entry damage before they commit to this fight, and that might be enough damage for Luminosity to want to walk up on it. Although both teams kind of taking the same amount. LG with the Gibby and the Caustic. And Rack is there also. I did not know Rack was nearby. This could put a stop to all the fights. Great shots from Rack with the 301 as ESA is now pinched.
Physically, we have two teams sitting on each other here, trying to get into Lava Siphon at the top of the hill. It does look like we have Smiley running the new comp for this game. And hitting the phase was in a thermite, so going to go ahead and back up a little bit, calling off troops as well. 165, absolute beam there. Don't even need to hit the... Yeah, we're in the ult, and we're just going to push up here. This is the Bloodhounds playground, and this is a 3v1. I think the new comp is working well, and the kick in the head saying...
You can just imagine the comm. He's one shot. He's one shot. First attempt eliminated.
Can't go down there, saying, because tripods, third party. Like I said, if you're going to fight these fights, you get down. You're getting killed by a third party. Nice shots out of Deeds with the G7. And...
Smiley eliminated.
Smiley eliminated. So, yeah, that's the risk of fighting it all right now. If you take big damage, third party will kill you.
We might see Furia versus Tripods here, though. We might. Although Furia didn't take any damage. Furia just showed up to the fight. Tripods really hardly took any damage in that fight as well. And you see them. They're just both looting up as we have 6 death boxes right in front of them. Both teams
coming in.
Could go on. No connects with the grenade. No connects with the 3-0. A little bit. A little bit. Furia in a worse spot for this fight. Tripod's really just prioritizing, trying to loot up. Both teams are safe for this next zone as it is closing, but we're going to go ahead and look at another fight that looks like it is full sending.
And teams trying to make their way into Geyser right now. These are the chokes that I'm talking about. This is like a 20-yard wide choke, and this is the only way into Geyser. Typically, you know, we have more squads alive. With only 11 squads, it's not that big of a deal, but those chokes are really tight and really hard to get through, especially late game. But I think that team should probably be fine.
Yeah, it looks like the Tripods in Furia fight ended up breaking up. I like this rotate out of Sentinels, though. They are not safe for the next zone. The dotted white line is the next zone. So that's only something that you guys can see here. The players cannot see that unless they have scanned a beacon.
It looks like 100 Thieves is going to be in a really good spot, along with OXG in that final zone. Tripods on the north side are going to try to rotate around and come in. They should have a nice, easy way in, at least for the next zone. And a lot of teams over near Big Mod trying to get in to that southern choke. It is going to be 4 teams all trying to get in there. So that's going to be probably where the most contested area and most deaths going to happen.
Yeah, this could be one of those times where we just see, you know, some teams just Valk ult out if they do all have a Valk, and I know most of them do. But Rack on Big Mod right now. LG have the furthest to go. They could opt to hit that redeploy, but I don't think Karasuna is going to let them hit it. They have scouts, they have optics, they have the range. I don't think anyone's going to let them hit that redeploy. And it looks like they're going to try to hit a Valk ult. I saw the team kind of all grouped together. Although Wave is not even letting them peek for a second. Some great G7 shots.
Yeah, LG behind them is going to be a big problem here in a second. They need to go ahead and... Yeah, they see him. So, good spot there. Always in these lobbies have to keep your head 360-degree swivel, looking around. They're also looking for Valkyrie rotates. You can see them looking at the mountains. And potentially... Oh, we do have a res in... Geyser res? What?
I wonder if they're going to let this already getting shot at, but full health, somehow none of those shots connected. And yeah, no, we have bombs and Horizon ults all over the place as Luminosity is just kind of getting sucked to the side of the dome here. Caustic ult down. That's going to prevent anyone from wanting to swing. If they swing there, they have to swing super wide and they'd be vulnerable. And that was just a distraction ult so they can get the heck out of there. Fly far, far away and hopefully find a spot somewhere near Geyser.
Yeah, round 3 closing right this second, so they do not want to be outside, and it is going to probably be an easy flight in for them, considering there's only a handful of teams left. They aren't going to get a building. They're going to just try to get on the outside here.
Landed right on CLG,
Oh, boy.
and they're going to have to take this fight, and they already burned Bubble, but LG losing a player. Yanyef doing absolutely the most that he can. There's one player left for LG. And they make something out of this against CLG as they're getting sent now on the side. Almost with the crack. Needs to reload. And the other player did end up walking down the stairs. So ESA also. Okay, so CLG and LG eliminated there. ESA showing up at the perfect time. And guess who also showed up at the perfect time? It is Furia.
Yeah, Furia is definitely going to jump into this fight. Guys, we're going to have listen in on Furia comms right now.
Beat 3, 2, 1, 1.
2 seconds.
I can bangle him.
You probably should. Careful, Pan.
Doing it.
I broke ult.
Catch Valk. Valk is one.
Nice.
Go, 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 go. I'm going in.
Almost cracked crypto.
We're gonna get thirded.
I'm batting.
Crypto's low. Crypto's low.
I'm batting.
Crypto's cracked.
I'm gonna
Res him. I'm holding, you're good. I'm reloading my fucking gun, bro. I pissed on him.
I'll block that.
Block it. Keep crawling back.
Laying or knockdown. You guys killed Sean in the back.
I'm 1 health and got Seer canceled.
Yeah,
GG's.
same.
Yep. Seer, love it.
I mean, you just went in too hard.
Did you guys have to kill or something? Yeah, because I stunned both of them with my arc and
Well,
did
no.
80
The
damage to one
problem,
of
why
them.
we got farmed right there was because we went up the.
All right. And that was really actually quite insightful to hear, saying they pushed a little bit too far and just the Seer canceled. They had just a split second left on both of them as they were healing there, and that's just crazy that's an ability in this game. It is so powerful, so strong to not be able to heal in a fight. And look at Rack, all 3 players right on top of each other with OXG in the building right beside them. They're just trying to avoid any fights, making any sound. Tripods up on high ground. 100 Thieves probably taking a couple of shots at them. ESA rotating around the side as well. But Furia eliminated. They did have a couple of kills, 5 points that game, so no worries at all. They're playing exceptionally well tonight. ESA is going to push in on this fight.
Yeah, here we go with ESA going to potentially push into the building, looking for some entry damage, and did get all 3 scan. Triple purples. We're going to try to swing and get a big arc stick here. No, we're going to kill the fences. That's what we're going to do, and we're going to keep pushing. Everyone on full health, trying to just feel it out. And that swing is going to be pretty risky there. They don't get any arc sticks. They don't get any big entry damage, so they're going to go ahead and back it up, which is kind of the way that you have to play this.
Yeah, no, I mean, they have them all pinched in a little bitty room right now. I guess, mat-wise. No, they have lots of grenades still, but again, prioritizing saving those grenades for later in game is so helpful, and I'm not sure if there even is a pylon down, so it might even be useless, but I think at this point you just kind of hope that they're going to get pushed on the backside, and it looks like they are. I feel like I saw a lot of silhouettes of the team right in front of them, and at this point that's just really what you hope for.
Yeah, that was the team on the outside that's all crouched on the rock.
Oh, Rack, okay.
And that's what I thought LG was gonna do. Instead of pushing all into the building, LG could have also just stayed on the outside. Pretty risky to jump into a house fight like that where there's a Watson and everything inside. So I don't mind that play from Rack sitting on the outside, kind of just feeling it out, seeing if they could maybe get a third party.
All right, Tripod's walking up here. It looks like this is probably the 100 Thieves that were still holding this building. They did lose Nick Merck, so they're gonna have to carry on as a duo. They don't have banner yet. Spiking the area with a couple of therms, preventing them from wanting to walk outside.
The duo of tripods. Yeah, so they're going to try to play very passive and try to show some presence, but they definitely don't want to push any full teams. They're looking for longevity here.
Hey,
OXG, go ahead.
OXG, all 3 players alive. It looks like we do have Crypto doing crypto things, but they're getting walked up on here. A cool 80 damage with the car out of Protectful, providing some great shots, but extremely low. Can't take any more damage, or it is going to be a GG for OXG, and it looks like they only have one player left just hiding behind a knockdown shield somewhere. ESA should have an easy cleanup, and OXG eliminated, and ESA taking the kill leading spot with 4 kills to Capra's name.
Yeah, that's what they were looking for. They don't know about the team on the outside, or they do. So that is just a solo left now for Rack as they are stuck on the outside and going to be dead any second. I think they did die there. And we do have only a handful of teams left. Everyone pretty well spread out. We're looking for the zone pull here. It's going to be a huge indicator of who wins this fight as this next zone pull. And all the teams pretty well positioned. Oh, I thought he was just swinging on an enemy team. I was like...
We have 5 teams left. Every single team is full except for Tripods, the team that you guys are seeing right now. They are just a duo. They were not able to grab Nick's banner. Where's the zone ending? How far do they have to go? Oof.
Ooh, there it is. There it
That's
is.
going to be a tough one for them.
Sentinels.
Indeed.
That's the
Yes. Okay, so guys, we have 100 Thieves still alive. Sentinels, Stormtroopers, Tripods, and ESA.
Yeah, so that zone is pulling directly towards Stormtroopers, actually. So unless Sentinels can take over this building, Stormtroopers get to sit inside almost the entirety of that zone pool. So these teams are going to poke at each other. But ultimately, in 30 seconds, when that zone pool's over there, all the teams left on the outside of the building are just going to be forced into each other, and it's going to be complete chaos.
Okay, Crypto walking in, trying to get that ult up, has to wait a little bit. Crust, very low health, taking some damage to a Therm, and they're going to swing on this as they walk by, getting the Valk down, trading there a little bit, but Sentinels go out. No.
I don't know.
Why does my kill feed say Sentinels? Okay, I was going to say, my Sentinels said Sentinels out. ESA.
Sentinels. It was ESA pulling in for the third parties. And Sentinels did do a lot of work on Stormtroopers there. ESA might just get the building for free now. Unfortunate for Stormtroopers that they were pushed so hard by Sentinels there. ESA, if they can clean up, the remainder of Stormtroopers will probably... Wait, 100 Thieves also poking in to join the party. Everyone knows this building is the play, and 100 Thieves are going to go ahead and get on the roof. Stormtroopers getting really, really unfortunate there that they were pushed so hard by Sentinels. 100 Thieves going to claim the roof, and now 100 Thieves probably in the best spot.
100 Thieves indeed in the best spot, as they have the most cover, and the other 2 teams are kind of forced to look at each other. And there's one team that's probably going to be stuck inside. Do we think, how is Stormtroopers going to get out?
I think it's just a solo or a duo potentially left for Stormtroopers. So
It is a duo. Okay, great grenades. Oh, they are going to be forced to have to drop down here, and they're taking space. They're walking up on that, as they were forced to go to low ground. So one team inside, one team pushed all down to low ground here. This is looking like it could be a good dub for 100 Thieves, but it's not over yet, as they all full send on a Horizon Tactical, take height, and do a ton of damage in the process.
Yeah, taking over, positioning from 100 Thieves from the air. ESA doing actually work. 100 Thieves eliminated. The Horizon ult was huge there. Big shots coming in from the 301. ESA might just get cleaned up because we did have Stormtroopers still inside, going to third party it up. It might be a 1v1 situation here as Tony drops down.
B2.
We need some headshots. Oh, that was really great play there out of
ESA
with the Horizon Tactical up into the air, gaining position on the roof from 100 Thieves. Stormtroopers were gifted that, but really good play from ESA.
Stormtroopers were inside as a duo, and they just managed to dominate a team, having that Horizon lift, that tactical, where all 3 teammates can just grab height, and a Newcastle wall is pointless when you can all 3 go like that. So
it is situational, though. It is situational. That was the perfect storm there for Horizon to make the play. I mean, if it's an interior building fight, certainly you're not going to have the same thing happen. So I don't know. It's certainly situational based on the characters, and the teams are picking their characters hoping for consistency. So
yes.
in that scenario, having the Horizon was perfect. But I've seen other scenarios where, Horizon's not going to make that big of an impact, especially when there's a lot of teams around. The Horizon ult can only be used on one aggressive attack, where, if you have a Watson in-game like that, there's a lot of utility for the entirety of the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Okay, and I like, wow, look at where the dropship came from. And you guys in chat, again, this is a little sneak peek information that only you in chat watching this broadcast can see. the dotted white line, the next zone. And this is oddly similar to what we just saw, but it is not going to be the same zone. This one could end up pulling a little bit more to that no name outside of Lava Siphon, but we'll probably see similar teams thrive from game 2 that are going to thrive in game 3. I don't like when we have 2 back-to-back similar end zones like this, but you know what? Let's see if some teams can shake it up. Bots, the winners of the first game with a not ideal performance in game 2. I know, let's see if you can do anything differently. You will notice that a lot of teams run into the same teams as they rotate, and that's why I said we might see a very similar placement from game 2 to game 3, seeing this information.
Yeah, the zones play completely differently, so that'll be good. This current zone near Lava Siphon, it has a lot of entry points, so there's not so much emphasis on getting there immediately. There's a lot of different placements for teams to get as well. So I think Geyser's a much harder zone for teams to get to. This zone, I think we'll see a lot more teams. I don't think we're gonna have 10 teams in the 4th round like we did last game. I think there's gonna be a lot more teams alive for late game, where it's gonna be a bit more of a mosh pit type fight.
Shall see. We shall see. Do you want to go ahead and take an early game guess and see who do you think's going to win this game?
Who is due? Who is feeling it? Let's go with the new team that we just got slept on. Let's they're gonna come in hot. They're gonna come in. This is their first game of the day, and they're gonna get in the top 10 after this game. It's gonna be their first game, and they're gonna be in the top 10.
Okay, well, Dupe with the 4 arms and playing with the toes seems to think that it's going to be his game. So maybe Dupe with Sentinels. All right, we do not have any casualties yet, but we do have our potential first fight here as we look at first attempt. Fighting right outside staging.
Taking some shots from distance. Would love to get a little damage, at least to level this armor up. Probably not realistically going to push this fight. We are headed towards Lava Siphon. We could either go through Harvester or go through the tunnel into Landslide. Probably better to go Harvester side, unless they're looking for a fight. Then they might go Landslide and play more of an edge side. So we'll see as these teams do fight potentially over on the edge here. This is not where the zone's pulling, but this might be a pretty clean fight if these teams wanted to take it. I think they might just be crafting, though.
They were crafting, but you know what? I like where they're going because the tunnels give them lots of options to get into Geyser through the backside, and that's most likely where these teams want to go. A couple of teams could opt to push through the tunnels over to the right, but this is going to be Slept On versus FaZe. FaZe was not too far from them. This fight might not amount to anything.
I do like the comp, though. We have the Caustic for late game safety. We have the Loba for the late game loot, and the Valkyrie to get there. So that's a pretty cool comp. That's the team that I said is going to get into the top 10 with just one game in the books. So we'll have to see.
All right, in chat, we have you up, so we want to know who are you guys rooting for in this game 3 in the final game on World's Edge. 20 squads, 60 players still alive. FaZe taking an aggressive high ground position here. Could be bad for Slept On.
What do you think FaZe's plan is here? They do have Beacon, so they know it's not pulling here. They're just protecting this Beacon, and they're going to get the next zone. That's probably what they're going to do, right?
I don't think they've scanned it yet. I wasn't sure if they had scanned it yet. Capra with just about 10 health next to his name. That tactical might take him out. Did it?
Unlucky. No, it didn't. Looked like it should have, potentially.
How did it not?
Little nook, little crevice of safety.
I don't know. Okay.
That did.
All right, there we go. If he wasn't out, he's out now. Somehow hit a bat, I guess, right at that very, very moment. Whichever team Henry wants to win. Okay, okay. All right, getting shot in the side there. Kind of wasn't expecting that. Stormtroopers losing their Loba.
That was the third party potentially coming in of MPS, and they're shooting in from the side. Stormtrooper's going to have to hold off while the res happens here. Really good thermite positioning. It does actually end up re-knocking the player, and we're going in with Madness right now. It does look like MPS is going to be able to clean this fight up. It is a 3v2. Stormtroopers is out. We did know of a third party potentially nearby, so they're going to have to quickly heal up, and they are using all of their abilities to stay alive.
Yeah, good fight out of MPS, and they should be good to go. It looks like from the aerial view here that they're safe at least for a few moments. You know, sometimes those gondolas, you know, a full team could all triple stack and send in those, but we just have so many teams around. You can see right in front of you guys, we do have bots as well as Luminosity Gaming holding these two little small buildings, just poking at each other.
Pretty good positioning out of LG. The zone's going to pull very close to where they are. We have 100 Thieves that might just be opting to hold this choke, maybe get a couple kills on the way in. 19 squads up. Like I said, I think we're going to see a lot more teams late game just based off this zone. And yeah, 100 Thieves just going to go ahead and set up shop, maybe catch a kill or two for teams trying to rotate in. They're going to see what the next zone is going to do. They're very happy where they are.
I might need a fact check on this, but are we seeing a reoccurring theme here of if you win one game, you get out first the next game? I feel like that's a very odd theme that we're seeing, and super unfortunate as we've already did lose Stormtroopers as the first team. MPS also going through it right now. It looks like they are fighting, I believe, ESA, and they did lose their Valk. Kraber in the hands of Madness. This could be a game changer. Taking some ticks to zone, though, make it really difficult to hit those Kraber shots. And that was not a Madness aim problem. That was just the zone ticks you. What is the term for that, Andrew? Bullet tick or zone tick?
Aim punch.
Aim punch. Thank you. Not Madness's fault. He would have hit that if he was not in the zone. All right. Furia walking up on a fast and furious fight here. Horizon ult is going to catch them off guard a little bit, trying to yeet some sky nades way up high, and it looks like they are as well in a Seer ult. Seer ult down. Beast of the Hunt with 10 seconds left. Now is time to make some moves.
Yeah, Watson getting a nice angle here. We're re-smoking the area. This is allowing for good cover as well as a little bit of AA cancellation. The Digi sight is coming into effect with a nice clean 136. And we are getting big angles here. Watson, huge angles on the backside. Might go down for this, but is definitely going to put in a ton of damage, probably yelling for his team to get in. And they do eliminate with Watson on 1 HP, staying alive, and the third party is close. But the fact that Watson stayed alive there, CLG backed up. You see the difference there. If his Watson goes down, CLG pushes there. So he was 1 HP away from his squad getting third partied.
Good job preserving the life. Taking a look at the overall map, you can see tripods just taking their sweet time rotating down. MPS also rotating around the bottom edge of zone. Maybe going to... Looks like they're right in between two teams. This could be bad for MPS.
Let's see here. Teams, yeah. We're MPS looking to hold down their position, and it does look like they are running off another team. Shubi-Tubi getting ESA Phony down. So yeah, ESA paying for trying to take any space on MPS as they chase with the Kraber. Looks like we might get a hipfire shot, but we are going to need the cleanup here of the Valkyrie. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and ESA is eliminated. MPS doing a great job holding down Lava Siphon with Madness on the Krabba.
6 bullets left in that Kraber, and yeah, ESA playing really well tonight. Surprised to see them again, but this just makes this qualifier so incredibly close and spicy. The fact that we're seeing a team dominate one game, just get eliminated early the next game. ESA, second place last game there. Decent amount of points already out, as well as Luminosity Gaming, ESA, and Stormtroopers already out in this game 3. 16 squads remain. 100 Thieves holding this choke. It's going to be really hard to push that, though.
Very angry at the Watson node that was there, punching the ground in frustration.
What do you think about those fences? That high fence? Like, what is that? That might be some...
It's a get off my lawn fence. It's not an actual fighting fence. It's a I have this area, go somewhere else.
Okay. Okay. Noted.
Tripod's trying to make a rotate. It does look like all the chokes are already taken. They can see the get off my lawn fences up on top of the hill. So they can try to rotate on the far side and probably gonna have to do a Valk ult into Lava Siphon once they get to safety over here. It's only round 2, so they're gonna be chilling and trying to assess the situation.
All right, taking a look at closer into zone. CLG all in that small building right in front of them. Have tried to take a couple of fights. Just they've been playing this one a little bit safe. They don't actually. They do have 1 kill. They do have 1 kill. Tripod's taken zone damage, but should be able to walk in, and they're gonna walk right into the back of Furia. They might opt to ult from where they are, or they could try to catch Furia off guard. We shall see here in just a little bit.
Yeah, I think Tripods might do a Valk ult, and then they may land low ground under the bridge once they see. Furia is kind of split playing all 3 buildings in the no-name. So unless Tripods can get a read on that, they might just try to fly over all the buildings. But yeah, there are definitely 2 buildings available. They can pick the right one. So.
All right, FaZe bots right in front of them. FaZe, and there is still even another team at Geyser. So if they fight here, this is exactly one of those things where you just cannot afford to lose anybody because there is another team deeper in Geyser that could just come clean up everything.
FaZe interested in taking a fight on the edge here. They know they're probably the last team on the edge at this point. No other team at this point in round 3 would be further out than FaZe here. We're going to go into a listen-in with FaZe right now as they push this building and try to get the first KP of the game.
I'm going to play this hallway. I don't want these kids to like push us in a bad spot.
I mean, we're already in a bad spot now with that team being there. I don't know where the fuck they came from.
Yeah, I don't really know where this team came from either. I think they might have been in... This is fucking lame.
Yeah, I don't want to put my gen down because they're just going to EMP us. So
Oh, yeah,
that's what
100%.
they're waiting for.
Is it a Loba as well?
I'm just going to sit
Yeah,
right
it
here
is.
in this corner.
That other team really just gonna sit there? Like, you're going to get everyone killed.
I want to take more space with these fences.
I'll walk up with
There's
you.
1 kid on the bottom floor. Oh, Watson. We can swing him low key.
Yeah, I just
Crack
hit him
crack
hard.
Swinging hard. I hit him like 60.
I'm watching her back. I need to pop cells. I have 5, or I'm gonna have 3 cells after I pop these.
Okay.
I need 8 damage.
They're trying to swing. They're not happy. This is annoying. I have 3 cells.
Team's
1
still
bat.
trying to peek. I'm 7-5. Like, here, take 2 bats. One of you. Each of you take one. I don't care.
Bro, you literally do not hear Slurp.
No, I don't. I just...
He's been
wait
asking for
until he
bats for
burns
like
through all of
fucking
it.
forever. He's been saying he doesn't have any. I've been saying I dropped him one of my 2. You're just quiet.
I don't want to peek that.
All right. We're going to let them continue to figure out the bat sharing situation as well as if they want to take that fight or not. But I did love hearing them know your enemy and how important it is to know your enemy. They don't want to put that pylon down because they know there's a crypto right near them. And they know that they're just going to blow up the pylon as soon as it goes down. And that is just such an important ability for Watson to have for the squad. Another thing here, Andrew, I don't mean to call you out, but I mean, is that not us? I'm sitting there asking for bats, saying I have no bats, I have no bats, I have no bats. And you're like, oh, here, I have 6 bats. Who needs one? I'm like, oh.
What you're saying is I'm as good as Aberlelli.
Not at all. Not at all. You're listening. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. We'll carry on. As they still have 3 teams over there in Geyser. We'll get back to the action if they end up fighting at all. Oh, they are fighting. Whoa, the triple sends. Snipe with a sliver of health. Hiding behind the desk here, trying to poke up like a little groundhog. Hitting a wingman shot. Slept on. This is the team that just joined the lobby late. FaZe eliminated. But there are, remember guys, there were 3 teams here, so there's still 2 teams in this area. Slept on. Now having to fight another squad.
Ooh. Nice shots out of Zerbo. Trying to get the clutch in here. Come on. I said you guys were going to win the game.
Oh, bots end up winning that. They did get Stompties knocked in the process. They should be able to hopefully get him back up.
Unlucky.
Yeah, yep, they're fine.
Unlucky.
They were the last team there. Okay, so moving over to the other side of the map where the cluster of everywhere is, and I think we have a couple of Krabers in play. I believe someone on Karasuna I saw in the kill feed had a Kraber. I'm not sure if Madness has any shots left in his. It looks like he does still have it next to his name. MPS, though, Andrew. 6 kills so far this game. They have
FaZe
6 kills already.
I imagine FaZe is highly irritated right now. They got a little bit stuck in a building. They couldn't really fight. I feel like they should have probably just Valk ulted out of the front and tried to get into Lava Siphon area. But we'll have to talk about that after the game. MPS on low ground here. There is a team on high ground. They're double sharing the crane as Cryptos rain down hell.
100 Thieves just landed right on them and almost got a player of MPS out. Did you see he was kind of called out a little bit? I thought that the Newcastle was going to do the ult right to his teammate up there, but 100 Thieves kind of beat him to it, and they just said, this is our high ground, as they built their wall and put their pylon down.
Oh, yeah, and this is not looking good for MPS on the low ground, getting absolutely obliterated. They did have to drop down, and yeah, they paid for that big time. We have Sentinels fighting Furia on the bridge. MPS eliminated, we can tell, underneath, and not sure what stage we are. Yeah, Sentinels just getting eliminated by Furia there on the bridge, as we had several teams that had to dogpile on each other a little bit as the zone closed there. 10 squads up as we go into round 5.
Okay. And there are a couple of Kravers in play, as you can see. A couple Kravers in play. 100 Thieves still on high ground. Someone getting rezzed? There's just no way. About 20 health next to his name. Somehow
Not sure.
still alive.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for them to stay alive. I did call it earlier. Tripods ended up flying over and landing underneath the bridge. So that was probably the best spot they could land according to this next zone. The Tripods in a good position. Rack eliminated as well. And Furia on the bridge. So yeah, it's going to be pretty spicy ending. The next zone is pulling a little bit. Tripods will be safe underneath the bridge still. So they're in a decent position. They're going to be on low ground for the final zone, though. So this zone pull is going to be instrumental in who wins this game.
All right, 9 squads left. You said there was going to be a lot of teams up. Zone 5 in 10 seconds. 9 squads remain. Almost half of the lobby is alive. 9 in 27.
Furia's in a pretty decent spot. You can see there's going to be 2 buildings available for play. The one spot on the bridge and the one spot under the bridge. So all the other teams are going to be in big trouble. I think we might go down to 5 squads here pretty quickly with 30 seconds left before the zone close.
Oh, do you see what 100 Thieves is doing? And I love this spot, and I can't believe this is an actual playable spot. I was killed by this spot in a ranked game a couple of splits ago. It is a crazy spot, but Furia is not happy about it. Furia taking him out, not allowing him to sit up there. They just lost their Newcastle.
I can tell you 100 Thieves is pretty irritated, and they're trying to push over towards Furia right now, but I don't think they're going to be able to get the job done, as all 3 players of Furia are up inside. And it does look like 100 Thieves might be able to hold the very outside edge to the right there. They are pinging. Furia would like to get rid of them, and they got to watch their roof. That climb up and that back shot's going to be pretty problematic if 100 Thieves decides to do that.
Andrew, I think they rezzed him. I think 100 Thieves got the res. They did? I think they did.
I don't see Scurry on the player tags there.
Okay. No, he's still on his knees. My bad. He is now a box. Bots also eliminated. They have quite a few points so far. Playing well in the evening, making it somewhat to late game here. Furia just dominating. I don't know if they can be stopped. Tripod's still all 3 players alive.
Really big fight here for Furia. They need to win this, and they need to get rid of CLG, potentially. I don't know. Furia's in a pretty good spot here. They do have the teams above them. They might have to make their way back into the tunnel here. Yeah, otherwise they're going to get down. So Pander's opting to stay there and does get down. Furia split as well, just trying to... Actually, this is...
Yeah, it's a different team.
This is...
Arsuna.
Kara. Yeah, so I think Tripods, we're going to see interesting rotation here in a second. Tripods stuck on low ground under the bridge. We're going to probably see a Valk ult. So that'll be interesting to keep an eye on. And Kara in a pretty vulnerable spot with not much cover, but they are taking shots at the top of Furia potentially. No, that is...
Okay,
OXG.
Tempest going in. The only player on his team with full health, trying to do as much as he can with the car. OXG eliminated. Deeds with the RE45 just frying everyone in the lobby. Furia also going down. This could be a tripods cleanup. Damage on that thermite, spiking with the missile swarm, waiting to walk up. They have plenty of loot right behind them if they need it. Karsuna also down. Gent going to throw the Horizon ult and possibly walk up on this. Not getting any indicator of players being pushed. And there you go. You can see the wall hacks ability as they are all in the Seer ult as well. And a cool 95 damage as they walk up over the wall and thirst. Yet another team, CLG, out.
2 squads left. It's 100 Thieves as a duo.
Oh.
Tripods gonna clean it up right now. And well played from Tripods. They had a nice rotation in underneath the bridge. They waited for the perfect opportunity to third party the teams above them. And they had a really, really clean dub there.
Okay, Tripods, Nick Merckx, Deeds, and Gent buy with that. I think that that's a very fair assumption. And we can already see, guys, you know the deal. The dotted white line on your screen, that's information that only if you're watching this broadcast here do you see that. And this zone is going to be pulling further south, so that is going to be great for teams like Luminosity Gaming. Luminosity, you guys know that they land down in fish farms. They usually have a long rotate, but this will not be too far for them, so this could be a big game for them. One of the teams that's kind of in the middle of the pack that really needs some points.
No team landing at the wall. No team landing. Yeah, we have one team going to Lightning Rod, but no one landing Lightning Rod or wall.
Well, that's because of the teams that are playing. Wait, where is Furia? Oh, they're up further. They're up further north. Okay, I was about to say.
Okay, they left late. They left late. I got you.
Right.
Okay. I was like, wait a second. But wall's normally not open either, so...
Well, the TSM is not in this tournament. So, you know, teams don't want to change their landing spot just because a certain team is not playing in the qualifiers. And I think that's smart. Teams need to get used to fighting at the POIs that they want to play in. There's so much more on the line when there's so many tournaments that these same teams are competing against. And a lot of these players view this as a practice to ALGS. Most of these teams are all in Pro League. I think all but one. So most of these teams playing there, that, you know, there's a lot more on the line.
Wildlife dead. All you have to do is shoot him in the leg once. You don't have to really kill him like that.
Well, you let him know.
It's tough to watch.
Okay, I'll remind
Family
you of
friendly.
that. The PvE on the map, providing the good loot. HEC taking the shipfall drop. Remember, there was a time when they were actually 50-15 right here. It looks like they should have this area to themselves for right now. They're walking up. Maybe take a little bit. They don't have to move though, so they already, you can see that on their screen that they've already scanned the beacon, so they're probably gonna just sit tight for a bit.
Yeah, this map is a bit bigger than World's Edge, and it does provide more opportunity for early game fighting. So I would assume we're going to see more of the same as far as teams trying to get some early KP and feeling confident about fights. And it's a really good time for them to practice fighting in this type of environment. You know, it is a qualifier, so the teams, we're going to have some teams that aren't quite at their optimal confidence levels. So this is a really good time to fight. That's probably why we're seeing some edge fighting more than normal here. And yeah, but it makes for great viewing. LG is trying to rotate around, and they're going to go ahead and hit the 180 as HEC is killing the wildlife at the very base there. It looks like we have LG also swinging potentially wide, so
They're gonna hit the ult. I bet they probably want to take the building that OXG is in, but OXG already leaving their building. Look at this race. It is a race for this building, and this should be our first. Oh, this is not good. This is not good for either team. This might be one of those instances where it's just a quick cleanup from one of the teams that is nearby, because there are 4 teams right in this little area here. Rate shield's already out of oxygen. Not sure how they were able to. Okay, look at that. And they did already back up to the bridge, and that was a great call. LG taking the building that OXG was just in. HEC still in the little wildlife nest area, but 4 teams right in this tight area. That means they are going to want to dip and rotate around a different way. NRO said no.
The Seer was down. That is such a good deterrent. If you want to hold a building and there's a team pushing, that seer roll is so hard to fight in. You lose so much opportunity, and if you don't have your own seer ult up, I would say get the hell out of there. So that's really smart from them to not try to fight in that.
All right, so Slept On sitting on top of a team that is in the IMC. They have a Horizon, so they could grief them, preventing them from... Look at that other Horizon trying to throw them off the roof here. Not going to be enough. But they could grief them. Horizon throwing the tactical right there in the center, which we're probably about to see when they open up the doorway here, as well as they're trying to steal that loot inside.
This is actually not the easiest of fights to take. These teams have done this a lot at this point and know how to counter it. So the team inside, we're about to see if this happens to you guys. Here's one way to counter it potentially. Slept On. I'd rather be the team on the roof, but I have in these lobbies seen the team inside be able
Look at Elevate. Elevate's here to just ruin everything, though. Look at them dropping down into zone a little bit later than I bet they expected. And this could be bad. Taking Arc Star damage and Thermite damage right there with the Horizon ult going down, and we are going to lose the Bloodhound on Smiley. Slept On, all 3 players up. Someone did end up making it out. Oh, they have... Wait, what's going on?
I think the third party...
No, Elevate didn't have a Wraith, so I guess it was, I guess it had to be Smiley's. Smiley's the only team running a Wraith, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Smiley on the inside of the IMC, they did get a Wraith portal out. It only got 2 players out, though, so Slept On does have all 3 up. Smiley has only 2 up, so it's going to be a 3v2 situation here as Slept On does push into the building against... And it's now we got 2. That was a nice swing there. 2v2 situation here as Zerbo and Psycho try to get this done. This Horizon ult is going to be a big issue for Slept On as they do kill it, but at what cost here?
Yeah.
So like Psycho's going to be able to get a heal off, and I'm surprised. Oh, the third party is here.
There they are.
The issue.
Yep, there they are. Elevate taking out Slept On. So we did lose Slept On and Smiley back to back, and that was just, again, a super surprising through the wall building rotate out of Elevate. I know that neither one of those teams were expecting that. And yeah, that's just one of those fights where it's just not really anyone wins. All right, going back to the other side of the map, we're looking at FaZe as they rotate around.
You would almost, the teams that just died there probably feel like they were griefed. You know, Slept On was trying to push Smiley inside of the IMC. That could have been a pretty fair fight there. But yeah, Elevate just coming from a really weird angle nobody expected, and just free kills and loot for Elevate. Pretty fortunate for them there.
I mean, what do you expect when there's 20 teams up, though? Let's be honest. Like, just expect people to pop out of anywhere. Like,
Sure.
you know, 20 teams. This map is crowded, and it's getting smaller by the second because that fight was as the zone was closing. Luminosity Gaming still in the same building they're in, and look at all the teams playing zone. We have Hard Edge and we have zone, and there's really, like, hardly any in between.
And look at ESA on the far north. That is the team we just saw clean up the 2 other teams. So they're way out of zone, and I don't know. Do you like that fight? If you're Slept On, do you try to grief the team inside the IMC, or is that not smart?
That was actually Elevate, so I don't even see them on the map. I think they're further north. I think, Andrew, they're so far north we can't even... Yeah, I was gonna say they're so far north we can't even see them. ESA, I haven't... They have no kills this game so far. But yeah, they're gonna be like 5 minutes before we'll even see them on the map. But FaZe going through it right now, face to face against Rack, and there's a team right in front of them that they're gonna run into here. It is Kara Suno might have the jump on FaZe, although James Fearless and Wave very, very weak. Fearless down. Wave somehow dodging those 30-30 shots. Alb also trying to desperately heal up, as FaZe did a great job of surviving.
Yeah, I think FaZe is going to get some good KP here and potentially some nice loot. They had to clean up the last person on Kara, which they did. But to the roof, Snipe Down goes. Going to use the ability with the Red Eye, crazy Bloodhound to get on the roof and see if there's any people approaching. It does ward off the enemy. Rack is going to go ahead and back up And yeah, FaZe is going to have a couple KP and some really good loot there and a nice position for in-game. So FaZe set up for a great in-game.
Yeah, and they're not the only ones. As you did see, it was just a complete cluster of teams right down here. Getting shot right in the back. Messiah's about to get a knock here. I'm not sure. Change that thing to automatic. Getting one player on the team down to one. And, a little bit of a turn right there. As Rack not only gets knocked, but thirsted as well. Ooh, 164 damage on top of the head, but they are getting shot at from across the way.
Using the smokes there for a nice buffer. Gonna go ahead and get off the scene. And super low health there. FaZe able to come in and third party this. We knew they were close by in the building, so pretty risky engagement there. Knowing that FaZe was so close in general. So FaZe getting pushed. Aberlele, before he can even get the ult off, goes down. So FaZe looking like they're in a big issue here. They're gonna maybe get the res off, but I would assume the team that they're fighting is gonna go ahead and we'll push him here. Yes.
Yeah, so we do see a push, but Snipe Down putting a lot of damage, but getting shot in the back at the same time. Slurp also trying to do everything he possibly can. Gonna go down there. FaZe eliminated. Bots taking not only the kill leading spot, but also cleaning up that fight and capitalizing on the loot.
FaZe didn't have to leave their building. I do like playing off of an area that you can retreat to if needed. They could have played a bit safer potentially there and kept the building as a home base to play off of. And yeah, they got snuck up on.
They were getting shot in the back though. They, that's not like they didn't lose that fight. They just were getting shot in the back, but
15 squads up. People with charge rifles.
I guess it's just bound to happen. Okay, looking at the rest of the map, we can see E8 finally making their way in. Gonna take one of these Tangerine buildings over in Barometer. Most likely going to only be here for a little bit before they have to move again. Yeah, they're not even safe there.
Also, Aberlele just getting picked off in the Horizon Lift. I mean, that thing is just not safe like it is. If you play pubs or ranked and you can use that all the time, but in these lobbies, you just get one magged out of it.
Big grenade damage here. OXG just holding down this building, putting up the defense. And that, yeah, they're not even going to push on that. Does not look like they're going to push. You could see the team right outside. It looked like that was I believe, a Newcastle. Newcastle's silhouette. Looks so funny when he's in that big lunge. We have 100 Thieves and OXG right on top of each other.
They're going to go ahead and heal up and potentially take this fight. They know there are third parties lurking. So once again, this is one of those situations where do you risk it all for the KP, or do you know you're in a good position and just try to play for in-game?
Drew, look at Furia and CLG right there at the side. I think we might see some action between 100 Thieves, OXG, or possibly Furia and CLG. These would be some big fights. These were some good fights to see. Chat, you guys can do exclamation point now if you want to see the current scores and standings on your end for the first 3 games. If you're just tuning in, this is game 4, top right-hand side of your screen. And I love the overlays too, guys. What a wonderful addition to the broadcast. You can see the overall scores at the top of your screens for the teams.
Yeah, Fury and CLG feeling each other out here on the east side of the map there. They're going to have to move for zone as well with a couple teams nearby. Yeah, Tripods and E8 up on the hill. So a lot of teams up that direction near Antenna all need to move in. It's going to be zone 3 closing in 45 seconds. So not even sure you could finish a fight this fast. These teams should probably just go ahead and head towards safety.
All right, looking at E8. E8's had quite a bit of action so far this game. Only with 1 kill to their name, though, but they did show up. They were the ones that they've been kind of taking their time rotating in. They still have far to go, but they were just holding that spot there to see if a team was going to come from that side. Furia, CLG still right on top of each other. No action, as well as between 100 Thieves and OXG. They're still right next to each other with no action yet.
Yeah, I like what 100 Thieves is doing here. Instead of risking it at this point, they would like to qualify today. They need the top 10. and they don't need to get in that building. They could play the outside like they're doing with the Watson and the Newcastle. So as far as a points in qualifying decision, I agree.
Okay, ESA here with a little bit of a gatekeep of a team right in front of them, and then Tripod's even behind them. Tripod's just really wanting to get into this next zone. Zone 3 closing. It is closing right now, 30 seconds before they all have to be in the next spot. Gent with the ult in place. This could be a good ult. Could stop a couple of them, at least 2 in the process, and they killed that thing so quickly. I think it was dead before it even touched ground.
Tripod's going to be in a situation. 10 seconds left. Zone is closing, and they're getting gate kept. This is a really tough one. They're fighting inside of a Cyril as well. I'm not sure how they're actually going to win this fight here. They have to take the horizon lift and basically land on another team. Jint going down in the process. Nick also down in the process. Deed's taking massive zone damage and going to also go down there. So.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, he did. He made it in, though, with just a sliver of health. But ESA with the ultimate gatekeep overall. Tripod's eliminated. Only 1 player left in front of them. NRO also going down. ESA did a good job of getting into zone early, seeing that there was a couple of teams behind them, and they were able to take some of those kills. All right, over to Shipfall. MPS looking mighty sturdy with the Loba ult, Newcastle wall, and plenty of safe space where nobody can see them. As well as Furia, as we see some juicy Havoc shots out of his Watson. Bots also going down in the kill feed.
Yeah, we've got his Watson pulling up with the Havoc. We have the Wingman shots coming in as well. They're looking to take this high ground. And a really good heady. It's so hard to fight a team when they have headies like this. They're peeking barely over the top of the edge. And we have teams coming up behind them. That is going to be Bangalore Smoke, so the AA is going to be obstructed. Trying to back up and gonna go ahead and back out. It looks like Furia might be going out here. They did get pulled up on from behind.
They had 1 player left, and I don't see them in the kill feed quite yet. They did get the thirst on one of the players. Elevate walking up here. All 3 players alive. They can be aggressive. MPS did end up going down. This could be good for Furia. I don't think I saw them leave quite yet. No, I think they were able to possibly maybe even get one back up. There was a thirst on one, but Sentinels versus E8 could be just a few moments away.
Sentinels definitely getting in good position. They're looking for potential 3-2-1 on somebody. It does look like Furia did get his Watson back up, and
it was short-lived.
Fortunate.
Short-lived as they do get eliminated there, but that's okay. Furia has had a couple of decent games so far tonight. Some points next to their name as well. But they are out of this game as we watch the final 8 squads and Elevate in these last couple of fights.
Yeah, it does look like Elevate's going to be pushed here. They do get an early knock, though, so it's going to be 2 players versus 3 players. E8 looking like they might take this fight. We have a big swing here, though, and great shots. Going to be a 1v3. The banner grab for fun there. And, yeah, unable to make it happen.
First attempt eliminated. Elevate down to just 1 player.
Yeah, Sentinels had the high ground. They've been looking for this opportunity. We saw them earlier looking around, poking around for anything, and they did find the free kill there as they might be pushed off. So Elevate looking to potentially get the res on top of that.
Look at this, Andrew. 100 Thieves and OXG were still next to each other, but let's go ahead and listen in to Sentinels as we watch this next fight.
I'm batting.
We can play second floor. We can play
yes,
here,
sir.
second floor.
You can play
Second floor, go inside. Yes.
You just play up here, right?
Only door? Oh, that's how you.
Is there a new team?
Swing back. Almost cracked.
Go on
Why
height.
am I dead sliding? Let me sell.
He's playing behind here. I'm swinging it.
Scanning.
That's all you.
He jumped.
Is this solo?
Maybe.
Inside full 3, I think.
I'm getting swung on.
All dead.
He jumped on the back side. On the back side. Yeah, he's.
Swing me.
Yes, there. He ran.
Yeah,
He
I'm fine.
ran. You're good.
I'm batting.
Can we all group on the roof?
Yeah, I'm with you.
They're all
Duo,
east.
I need grab ammo.
That's a trio.
Kraber.
I have a
5
gold
bullets.
diva re. I'm trying track 3.
Watch out for the crypto. Destroy it if you can.
I shot it.
Nice. Over bat.
Need that.
They might swing up on this. Be ready, Slayer.
90 on 1.
Swing left.
I'm dotting. Fight this, fight this,
Cracked him.
fight this.
I cracked them. I
Last
cracked
one.
them all. They're all cracked.
I just hit the worst
Last
spray
hit on my
I've
left.
seen.
I'm not giving a shield. I'm not giving a shield.
Oh.
Yeah, I just can't fucking aim. Holy shit.
Oh.
Okay, we're gonna let them think about what happened right there, but ESA are eliminated. You could hear there they weren't as happy with some of the strafes that they were hitting, but there were definitely some spicy wingman shots. Sentinels still alive, but on low ground, getting shot on top of their heads from Elevate, and they're gonna drop down here. They still have a little sliver of that pole. Senox is down. Hiding behind the Trident here. Who parked that there? Actually, big brain to have the Trident sitting right there, providing a little extra cover for E8 as they're trying to just shoot the knockdown shields, and a player's just right behind him. Guys, Sentinels eliminated. We have just a couple of squads left. It is down to HEC and Elevate. HEC versus E8. Who is going to take this dub?
Yeah, HEC has high ground. They have all 3 players up, and they have a crypto ult. So HEC looking like they have the advantage here. Arc stick coming in, and that's going to really mix things up. But HEC actually does have too much of an advantage there. It takes the dub. Well played from HEC. They were looking for some points, so this should be pretty good for them.
Wow, different teams dominating every single game tonight. Guys, these qualify, they are not going to have a legend ban. You know, they're not going to do that. So since this is trying to provide the best practice for these pro teams and prep them for ALGS, for Pro League, they're not going to do that unless we ended up seeing that at that level.
Yeah,
But
sure.
for third-party tournaments, absolutely. And I think it's kind of neat to see.
I'm just thinking even for the Pro Scene ALGS style, I mean, there's always options. They add little things in here and there. I wonder if that's an option. I think it'd be pretty interesting because I know some of the it might not be Seer that's banned, you know, maybe they ban Valk, maybe they ban Horizon, maybe it's an interesting one, you know, just to mix it up, and people are practicing the same legends so often, maybe it would force players and teams to maybe have some alternative comps that they might have to use if there's a certain ban. Could be interesting.
Andrew, I know you were on a bit of a rant, but did you see where the zone is pulling? Andrew, it's the same. I mean, I think this one's more shipfall, but what?
Okay.
What is going on? I'm surprised to see this again. So we're probably going to see a similar placement. But what great variety we're seeing with the zone. Yeah, absolutely. All right, FaZe is going to go ahead and take out the bots in the IMC. Bots not to be confused with the team bots in the lobby. Getting some good loot in here as well.
Putting in work, big damage on the bots, and we have E8 rotating under the cave. Everyone's just going to be doing their usual rotations right now. Probably avoiding fights as they try, especially if you're up in this northern part of the map, to get all the way back down there to Shipfall. That is a very long way, and if you're going to get there and get a good spot, you need to not fight on the way.
All right, we're watching Elevate as they rotate around, and we're already seeing MPS in a bit of a fight. Looks like they did get someone knocked with the... Okay. Capitalizing on that kill as well.
Yeah, Pal had the kill there, so that was with a 30-30. I'm imagining they might have just caught somebody a little straggling in rotation, and HEC eliminated as well, so MPS looking to get a good position here in Shipfall. This is right where they want to be, and LG, that's a really nice spot in the back nut there. They're probably just going to hold that for the remainder of the game as long as they can, and sometimes that is in play almost into the very last round, so nice spot for them.
Okay. Teams wanting to rotate in early again. MPS still going through it a little bit as they are now getting pushed.
They got pulled up on pretty fast. They're going to try to retreat and get better positioning. They weren't quite ready for that, and they also got their shields beat up a little bit. So they're going to pull all the way back, and they're going to take height. That is quite a good spot there. Right on top of the ship. I've seen several teams win from that position.
Yeah, OXG also getting shot at in the Trident. You know, your hitbox is so massive when you're in there, but the damage is dispersed among all 3 players. So as long as there's no arcs on you, you really are fine in the Trident. That also, as we just saw that last fight, the last game, Trident can provide some awesome cover fire, but yo, we have some drama over at Mill.
Yeah, looking for some early kills, and that is a stun and a Messiah beaming you down. Unfortunate rack as they storm through the mill. Bangalore bombs connecting, and hostiles detected. I wonder. Yeah, there's multiple teams around at this point, so yeah, that's why they're backing up here.
All right, Stormtroopers as a duo having to hold off this building as much as possible, doing a cool 80 damage to someone on the stairs, but probably going to end up going down right here as all 3 players just walked up, and that is slept on, getting a couple of points. FaZe and Rack still fighting over at one of the mill buildings.
Yeah, this is FaZe letting out a little frustration on the day. Hopefully going to get some KP here as they push up on what was a third party and now just turned into a 3v3. There is also a team potentially that could third party them from the low ground. Aberlally getting a nice little knock here and going down so fast again.
I mean, Impulse must have just lit him up right there. Slurp, the only player alive, but Slept On is also there. So this is not... Oh, Slurp. Slurp, come on. You can do it. Hitting the 47, the crack. One more juicy, massive shot. And the third party did end up giving FaZe an opportunity to get 1 or 2 of those kills before they did end up going down. And that is Slept On.
Yeah,
Slept On with the full final cleanup.
I mentioned there was a team close by. I guess they didn't know about, but we certainly knew there was a team on the low ground. So any damage taken or downs or casualties taken there would have resulted in a instant third party and decimation.
You guys just see Furia sneaking up on someone, but they were ready. They heard something. The Seer was somehow looking through the hands for the heartbeat. His Watson doing some damage before going down. This is tripods that they are fighting. Horizon ult down, spiking a couple of grenades in there just to be safe. 62 flesh with that grenade, getting Nick Mercs out. And the Thirst. And wanting to get the ult out of there as well. Anders, Zera, trying to get his Watson back indoors, somewhere safe, for a little bit of a reset.
Yeah. Gonna be tough for Gent here. Both teammates thirsted, and both teammates' boxes right next to the door that Fury is sitting on. So Gent probably not even gonna be interested in getting these banners.
You know, Furia just had the advantage in that fight. They walked up on them, I will say. Nick did a really good job of recognizing it and keeping his head on a swivel with the Seer heartbeats. Dropped that ult as soon as he knew there was danger nearby, but a little too late. You know, just getting that instant crack and knock on someone on tripods was just enough to be the move that they needed for Fury to capitalize on. Okay, we do still have a couple of teams over here at Shipfall. This is most likely where the zone will end up pulling. Surprised that it's only 3 teams here, though. Yeah, you guys know that dotted white line. You can only see that here in the broadcast. Dotted white line is the next zone. That is looking good for OXG, for Luminosity.
MPS. I like their spot. MPS is the kind of light brown or brownish orangish kind of color there. They're right on top of ship, and it's a really solid spot. It's high ground, and a lot of teams are going to be free picks for them, especially if they have a charge rifle or a G7, some type of long range gun. So
yeah, I like their spot, but you know who else's spot I like? I really like Luminosity's spot. I know that they're not safe for 2 zones away, but with where they're situated, they might end up having a somewhat isolated fight against 100 Thieves, and they do have a lot of cover right there. You know, a lot of people might want MPS's spot, so I just feel like, you know, it just takes so much defense, so much work to hold the spot when you are in dead center of zone.
here we pull up. This is the comp we were talking about earlier. There was a God squad. This would certainly be in the running with Seer, Horizon, and Valkyrie. You could argue that the abilities situationally are the best in the game. They're gonna pull up. Can we see a demonstration of how this is done?
Getting the crack there could have been enough to walk up, but not getting enough information from the scan not the confidence that they want. They're going to opt to just play the little heady on the backside of the roof here and see if we can maybe get some triple red shields for the rest of the team.
For some entry damage, they are nowhere close to where they need to be. So they're looking for, you can see them looking backwards for potential third parties, but yeah, they really either need to take that fight or get a move on. Okay,
Sentinels also making home at the other side of the ship. So we have Sentinels on one side, MPS on the other. Sentinels getting some decent points last game, decent placement points, not the kills really that they wanted. And you know what, Andrew? I think that tartan fleece skin on the Wattson, it goes extra hard. So I think that that's what they need to capitalize on a lot of points this game. You know, when you see a pro player rock out the plaid like that, you know that they mean business.
Absolutely. We have a little bit of a 3-2-1 situation here. Smiley trying to get the initial knock, and I don't think they pulled it off. That's one of the best ways to start a fight. Horizontal coming in and not hitting anybody. They're going to have to retreat. The team they're fighting is retreating back into the bamboo area. Smiley taking some entry damage as well. So do you risk running across that body of water, or do you just head for zone?
I don't know.
The cover is blown.
All right, they're backing up. They're backing up. Look at 100 Thieves spot. That is a cheeky spot indeed. Oh, Furia is not happy about it. Furia, I've seen them take 100 Thieves out from when they're on low ground. They don't like 100 Thieves taking these high ground spots with the Newcastle wall, and they're going to punish them just like they did in World's Edge in Game 3. They want to do it again. Anders is not happy about it. Literally just, how much, I can't even see how much, have that much ammo.
Oh, only 40 bullets.
He doesn't have that much ammo to be just shooting those walls, but you know what? LG Luminosity also does not like 100 Thieves sitting up there. You know, you put a target on your back when you make a spot that's that good. Nobody wants 100 Thieves to sit up there, and it just feels like they're being attacked from every which way.
Yeah, hopefully the Newcastle has some accelerants, because they're going to be pretty exposed here in a minute once the Newcastle wall goes down. They're taking grenades from all angles as well. Wattson Jin is no longer available either. And the Valkyrie ult is also down, so they're kind of forced to stay here, hoping that people will run out of ammo that are shooting at them.
I mean, oh, look at this. I mean, I feel for them right now. It just really feels like no one wants them up there. Okay, let's go check out another part of the map. We are having a full send situation. I repeat, a full send situation. This is Bots, the winner of the first game tonight, getting the juicy scan. 2 players very low. Only 1 player with some health, but that is not going to stop him wanting to full send. Hit the hip. Those were some hip fire G7 shots. Near impossible shots to get on a Horizon, strafing up the lift like that. 2 players down, 1 player left on Bots. And it looks like E8 is going to clean this up, but let's go ahead and listen in.
New team, new team, new team, new team! You guys need to back out if you can.
Yeah, they're all so hurt. Go, Presley, go.
I think you just rotate. No cap. I think you literally just run. Just leave. I don't know what the fuck is. Yeah, you just run.
I wasn't sure if the go, Presley, go was like cheering him on, like I believe, but you wait.
Oh no.
Furia is so heated about 100 Thieves in this high ground that there's no shot that LG is going to let them full send like this. They tried to full send with the Horizon, but they stopped. Yeah, I wasn't sure if the go was a cheering him on, like I believe in you, you can fight all 3 of them, or just go like run. Run for your life, run. Either way worked right there, as they're going to continue on as a solo. But 100 Thieves somehow the survivors of Game 5. And Furia was getting... Who are they fighting now? Getting shot in the back.
Furia looking so hard for a fight. They've thrown everything they could at 100 Thieves, and now they've turned around and they're fighting a team towards Shipfall right now. They have him pinned behind a little box. So Furia is also getting shot in the sides. Nice shots out of is Watson as he pushes up with the Bangalore smoke, and they are running this team back. How far out of position do they want to get, though? Panda's taking the L and going down as they chase this team all the way across the entire map.
It looks like 100 Thieves did finally drop off of high ground as well, and they probably want to be aggressive here. So this is 100 Thieves that we are watching.
Is Watson down at the hands of 100 Thieves? So 100 Thieves getting revenge after Furia tried to grief them for so long. Furia out.
I don't think
Thieves
Furia
gonna relish in that.
They didn't get those kills. I don't think they got those kills either because CLG went out after them. So 100 Thieves now getting shot on top of the heads by Luminosity Gaming. This is LG that we are watching fighting 100 Thieves. Yanya eliminated.
Oh, LG.
100 Thieves might win this fight. Walking up here, hiding behind the knockdown shield. A cool 88 damage, trying to get the reload. The 30-30 hip fires are just not going to connect as LG go down. 100 Thieves, Anmu, clutching right there. Going to maybe get... Oh, no, no, no. Not sure who this is in front, but 100 Thieves also end up going down to the hands of ESA, who now take the spot. But again, this is not in the zone. But Andrew, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6...
17.
You did like 30. That's at least 35 death boxes. At least. At least.
I would say LG... 100 Thieves is not going to be happy at LG. LG didn't really need to take that fight and didn't have great entry damage. So fighting like that in the zone with that many teams around was super risky. 100 Thieves had a good third party, and then LG just kind of shoved into them. So both teams going out because of that.
Okay, we do have a Kraber in play in Sang's hands. This is on Team Smiley. Sang is this team has probably changed their legends the most this game. I saw Sang on, I believe, Catalyst earlier, then Wraith, and now Bangalore. Looking to connect a couple of shots. Smiley right here. You guys in chat can do exclamation point now if you want to see the current scores, the current standings. But Smiley really looking to capitalize on some points, as I think they only have 8 to their name. All right, that's, you know, was going to do a nice little smoke and scan play, but not going to work. Seer ult from the enemy squad was placed down, and that is just a good defense. And that's, you know, a Bloodhound scan can really slow someone down as well as a Seer ult. You just don't, there's just a few things you don't push on. Right when you get scanned, right when there's an ult on you, it's just not worth it. And, you know, that split second of being able to pre-fire anyone in this lobby is just enough when all these players have such impeccable aim.
That's a really good reason for Crypto. If you're interested in taking these fights and not having to be completely debilitated by Seer ults, you can use a Crypto. But Crypto is otherwise one of the worst scan legends if you're not using him for that. So yeah, it's a pretty big risk to run Crypto over Bloodhound or Seer at this moment, but the Kraber shots are coming in here from Sang as we push into the zone. The zone is closing 15 seconds, and Sang's trying to put down some damage with the Digi. You're gonna get the armor swap here as NRO is eliminated by the team on top of ship, and we're gonna go right in to the next fight on top of ship. And
Smiley also going through it. Yeah, so FA eliminated, E8 eliminated. And we are actually watching Sentinels here. Sentinels still, all 3 players alive and well. And you can see there by the flag, you know that we are watching Senox. Smiley eliminated on low ground, a little bit out of place, just getting kind of called out by Sentinels.
nice little nook they're playing there, but it is very, very risky. We have Shubi.
Is he a rat?
Solo.
Is he solo? Ooh.
And Phony doesn't see him.
How?
He might be confused with
How?
the heartbeats.
I think Shubi has a Kraber, so how wonderful would it be if he could just pop up 210 someone right in the face? And I'm not
He's
sure.
looking directly at them.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we have ESA alive, Karasuna, OXG, MPS, and Sentinels. 13 players. That was a nice stick. You could see he jumped so far away from his team, and Crust does go down there.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, he just died for it. If he would have stayed on his team, they would have probably been in trouble too. So lose-lose situation there as Senox goes down as well. Only 1 player left upon Sentinels.
Yep.
As a couple teams push from different angles.
ESA looking good. This could be an ESA cleanup, though.
Yeah.
All 3 players alive. Somehow we do still have the solo of MPS alive. OXG, all 3 players up on that squad as well.
Yeah, Phony just either sleeping on it or they have an agreement, but not seeing the heartbeat behind him. He might have just seen it. He's turned around. No. No, Seer. I've never seen this happen before, honestly.
All right, we do have a very late game Valk ult. ESA not going to be happy about that. Wanted to try to take space back up a little bit because they're not even in zone themselves. And they do not want them to walk up. But there's these pillars that you can sit behind. Getting the stun right there. Wow, what a stun. What grenade damage. And they're going to swing on this. Go ahead and swing on it. Clean up Karasuno. Take them out. ESA looking good. Seer ult's down. 4 squads left. It is down to Sentinels, OXG, ESA. Final 3 now.
Yeah, and Shubi was actually able to run past ESA and get all the way into zone before dying. So really crazy that rat lived there. We're gonna have to review the footage on that. ESA in a great spot. They do have a bit of high ground on the other team, and ESA's looking really poised unless one of the other teams pushes them to win this game.
ESA, Andrew, look, they don't care, you know, 3 teams up. They just want to go ahead and take this, and what a good, juicy angle, high ground, being able to shoot down and be not in sight of the other team. So this is huge. This is huge for them. Going to opt now to just provide a little bit of cover fire, but it looks like ESA did end up losing 2 players. Final fight here between OXG and ESA. OXG with 2 players up.
Sheesh.
OXG did end up, and that's just, if that's not proof of if you can just be the last team to fight when there's 3 teams up, that is just, that's what you need. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, ESA cleaned up that fight easily. Life doesn't die. I think the wildlife regenerates. So it's just little loot packages of pinatas type things. No death here for the animals in Apex Legends. That's the same reason why you see the bat not dying either.
I am impressed that you called Echo a bat for the first time. I've been trying to convince Andrew that there is a difference between a bat and a bird. And that is the first time. So I'm hype about that. We are learning here. And yeah, it's about time.
The bird. Yeah, no vantages on the map today. We've seen a couple vantages try to be played here and there, but I'm assuming, I guess at this point, the teams have decided vantage is a no-go. Catalyst still on a few teams. I don't know. Did you see any for Stormpoint? Any Catalysts?
No, but CLG in the center of zone. This is pulling right up to where they land. This is great. This is very good for CLG. CLG is a team that is not shy of taking any fights, so the fights might come directly to them. That could be very good. This could be a CLG dub, but you know what? I'm going to stick to it and still say LG because I called them on the drop.
Nano doing a little shenanigans, alt-tabbing there, and I think Catalyst is probably better on World's Edge because there's more buildings that are playable. Essentially, the passive for Catalyst is stronger on World's Edge. I'm not sure. I'm surprised to see any teams honestly running Catalyst at this point, and I think it's mainly just experimental. Some of the other characters are just so dang strong.
And you can already tell the CLG has already scanned the beacon, so they have that zone information. It's already green on their mini-map. When we're watching a certain player's point of view, guys, we see exactly what they see. Now, sometimes the spectators will put on highlights of the enemy teams, so we can also see a little bit more. We can basically see everything a seer sees at all times, though. ESA going to hit the one and only jump tower on the map.
They're not too far off a zone either, so all the teams doing the good old rotates here, trying to rotate cleanly without getting picked off. One of the biggest things you want to try to avoid during rotations is being the person on your team who gets picked off with a G7 from distance, because that's what these teams are looking for. That while rotating, they're looking around to see if there's any players they might be able to pick off. So you're never really safe. You got to be super on top of your game at all times during rotation.
Okay, OXG opting to rotate with the Trident. They're just ready.
Very sketchy.
They're ready. They're aimed right down the front, ready to go. if need be. And you know what? Tripods. It looks like this is Tripods versus HEC. HEC winning this fight so far with some big entry damage. Getting the 70 damage shot knock on Nick Merck. Stormtroopers also eliminated at the same time. I'm not exactly sure where that fight was happening, but that is not good for Tripods. Now, Tripods, guys, don't worry. Tripods fans, do not worry. They are in second place so far on the night, so they have already qualified. HEC now in the middle of the pack, though, so they kind of need the points more than them.
Yeah, 2 games back-to-back now where Tripods early game having big issues. And, you know, sometimes that just happens, but they're not going to be happy about it.
First attempt, hitting the ult, sitting in second to last place right now. Going to probably get a little close to CLG. They're going to take the no-name side here. Sentinels also taking a little bit of damage, trying to just avoid as they rotate around.
You can play against that, but the top building, south side, has an angle on you. In between the tree.
I think we're listening
the spot
into
up
them.
Here. We don't want to play right now, but
they're trying to figure out exactly what they're doing on the rotation here. It does look like we're in a fight with FaZe, and FaZe needs points, guys. FaZe needs that couple points to qualify, and they are taking an early fight with 19 squads up.
All right.
Nice entry knock on Messiah, and this is going to be the full rack squad eliminated.
Good job as Snipedown takes the kill lead, has a little bit of time left on his Beast of the Hunt ult, can kind of scan the horizon and see if anybody is walking up on them. But good points for FaZe as they're sitting in 13th place and need a big game to squeeze into top 10.
Rack eliminated, and that means they are out for the week. They do not qualify. They needed a big game there, so here we go over to LG as they try to push towards zone. Does look like Hill is caught out. Hill was trying to rotate down the hill as a solo. Not exactly sure what the maneuver was, but LG very fortunate to catch Hill solo there with no cover. And LG probably going to try to push up and capitalize on that.
Wait, do you see Deeds right behind him, though? Deeds, what are you doing?
Yeah, you know what happened there? I think Deeds was going to wrap around and get banner.
Yes.
And I think Hill was going to go try to contest that.
Mm-hmm.
Hill thought that was Deeds.
Oh, they almost booped each other right as he walked down. They really almost did. Great scout shots, getting the crack. And are they going to hop? No. They are.
They're going to get in the beamer and chase, yeah.
LG with the aggressive plays, 18 points. You know what? You guys, I mean, you really have nothing to lose at this point, so go for it. They don't only need to win, but they need a lot of points, so they have to play aggressive here. And when they know there's a weak team in front of them, and weak because they're not full, that's why I'm saying that. But they're going to try to capitalize on it. They're looking. They probably are going to hear that res as Gent was only able to get... Or excuse me, Deeds was only able to get one player. Nick Merckx will have to just coach this game. And LG ended up just looks like taking the car right back to where they started. They're not pushing that.
Yeah, Nick's not going to be happy about it, but they do get a slight reset, and there is a pretty big fight over here.
Here's Stormcatcher.
Right near Stormcatcher. This is where the zone is pulling. Sentinel's trying to claim a little bit of territory here. Getting shot in the back.
Oh, Furia. Yo, Furia, you don't know that they're there until someone is dead and you see their name in the kill feed. And that's why I love watching Furia, because they just have these surprise attacks and they just pop up out of nowhere. ESA also getting eliminated. I see in the kill feed, going out in 18th place this game. All right, smokes in. Hopefully maybe a scan or two.
Furia has a great building here. They probably are going to play off this building and use it defensively. And we do have a Jurassic Park fight going down right now. It is FaZe. Like we said, they need points, and it is not looking good. Slurp is down. Aberlily at 1 HP, going down. Fate, the last one up. Snipe down, trying to make something happen. And this could be curtains for FaZe for the week here.
Looks like he just got scanned as well. NRO spiking the smoke, and there's another team inside?
2 teams, yeah. So there was a 3-team debacle here on the stairs. I don't think Snipedown's gonna be able to get this, but we're going in. Naughty with the wingman. A terrible sight to see. And Naughty is swinging to 3v2 now. Great shots coming out, and now We have a listen in right now as well for the team.
There's a Val on my back. Okay, I'm gonna kill this guy. You guys kill him. I killed him. On me. One guy. Resing.
Can you streak it? Can you streak it so I can see it as well?
No, I can't.
He's right there. He's right there on ping. He's behind the rock.
On me. I'm dead.
I'm gonna go to Bangalore. There's two of them.
Bangalore,
Bangalore hit for 99.
I killed him off. Nice. Alright, let's not tunnel on the loot. Kill these fucking mutts, bro.
It's the British people, bro. They're attacking us.
Get it.
I've heard the Prowlers called many a things. Sometimes crocodiles, sometimes alligators, sometimes we've called them cows, dogs, but that was the first time I've ever heard them called a mutt. But good fights, really, really good fights indeed out of NRO, and a couple of kills for them. So going back over to Smiley, currently in 15th place in the qualifiers. Top 10 is what they're looking for. Top 10 is really what they need, and they're going to have a fight right here. A lot of Bangalores.
Just to note there, FaZe was eliminated on that fight in Jurassic Park, and I think only had about 3 points, so they're going to be out for the day. They're not going to be too happy about that. Pretty surprising, too, considering the roster.
I know, I am surprised. We've lost a lot of teams early in this last game. We've lost Bots, Phased, Slept On, Sentinels, Rack, Stormtroopers, and ESA. 13 squads remain. HEC had a bit of a reset, and they are now where are they going to go? LG is looking at them. LG is on high ground, as well as another team right down the area. So HEC in a bit of a pickle, as there's just nowhere safe they can rotate in. They keep going back and forth here. They're in 11th place, Andrew. They need to stay alive.
They're doing their best. Hopefully they don't run out of heals there as they rotate back around. And yeah, a lot of teams still trying to rotate in. Only 13 squads up, so rotating in shouldn't be too difficult at this point. Few squads less than normal here as the teams are fighting early, trying to get KP, trying to get big games. We had 10 teams that needed pretty big games potentially to qualify today. So yeah, a lot of early fights here, thinning the squads down to 13 on zone 2.
Okay, another team trying to get in. I don't know if HEC made it in yet. No, they're still taking zone damage. LG being super aggressive. Again, LG has a lot to gain as well from this game. Getting shot in the back also, but they want this team out. They want HEC out. They have high ground, and they're going to opt to take zone damage and just push up and try to clean up this fight. Getting the scans. Hill is knocked, and HEC out. HEC out. Going ahead, looking at the duo of tripods now having to fight face-to-face against NRO.
NRO, a pretty solid squad here. 3v2 should not be an issue for them against tripods. And that is Deeds on the scan, going to get beamed down here. And tripods eliminated. They are qualified and safe and did really well on points today. So they're going to be a little annoyed at the last 2 games, but overall they did great today.
They did great. They got a nice dub tonight. Like I said, second overall as of right now. Might drop a little bit, but they will definitely still be in a top 10 spot. CLG, talk about being in a good spot. Now, they do have to move a little bit for next zone. And Andrew, I'm shocked that those 2 buildings across the way are open. OXG is about to probably make a down payment on one of those homes as they move in there. I like Furia's position. Furia knows that those buildings are open, and they're just opting to hold the back edge of zone, and there's no one that can even rotate around behind them. And that's why I think Furia is so fun to watch. Like, they've just put themselves in such an aggressive position. As long as they don't overextend, this could be a big game for them.
Yeah, we saw earlier, Furia had one of the buildings perfectly dead center in zone already occupied, but they opted to leave and go out towards the edge. I think they've seen so many times what happens. A lot of teams just end up dogpiling onto those buildings, and they can be really hard to hold, especially if Furia is not running a defensive comp. Maybe if they had Caustic, Watson, that type of thing. But they're running more of an aggressive fighting comp, so they did move and opt out of the building. So interesting play from them.
Yep. Okay, so CLG so far, I think, has the most points this game. They have quite a few kills, and that's just because the zone is pulling right to them. A little bit of RNG with that zone. OXG did end up going down, I see in the kill feed. But so far, this is a big game for CLG. and Luminosity and NRO. Both teams sitting with 6, 10, and 11 points just this game.
This looked like Furia ended up picking a fight with LG. LG was trying to rotate around and still is trying to make it up the hill.
Oh no, I do not want these
backside.
two teams to fight. Fury on high ground, Luminosity Gaming on low ground here. This is not a fight that I want to watch, but Yanya and Valk might have the ult available. I'm not sure if they have it. You know, the only thing that really could help LG win this fight would be a third party sending on Furia up there.
I don't know if they're going to try to pull a Valk ult at some point. This is round 3 closing. They still have time to go around the backside.
Once this zone closes, though, if they're going to stay there, they have such a little sliver that Furia is 100% going to punish this little sliver. And just, I could see them Horizon ult and grenade spam them out. Taking 2 of them with that Arc Star, getting the scan, and I think 2 want to leave. I think they want to leave on this.
Fury is a little confused here. LG would be in a huge deficit fighting on the low ground, and it does look like LG is going to take this fight instead of going around. So Fury definitely has the advantage with the height and the rocks and the zone pulling up behind LG right now. So the Bangalore bombs going down, getting a crack and a stun here. But once that goes away, I think Fury's gonna have a pretty nice advantage in this fight.
Yeah, this is not looking good, as LG did lose a player already, and they're gonna just walk up together here and push. Most likely clean this up, but do not count LG out. I've seen some crazy plays out of them. Getting the crack. Oh, his Watson, it will end up going down. Pander's still alive. Zera dead as well. Could this backfire? And I think it was it a third party?
Third party.
It was. That was the only thing that I said would possibly help them win that fight. But you know what? The third party just didn't stop with Furia. They ended up cleaning up the whole thing as well. 100 Thieves. Is that 100 Thieves still letting out some aggression from the game earlier where LG and Furia were both shooting them? I know, that is some redemption for 100 Thieves.
A really good fight there. 100 Thieves getting the perfect third party in, and it does look like first attempt fighting on the backside of zone now. Not quite safe, and probably starting to make a move towards zone, opting to not take this fight. Does look like Sorcerer might have DC'd there.
Oh no. Yeah, he's dead. He is dead, and no attempt to even like put up a knockdown shield or anything. That might have been what happened. Karasuno walking up as well. And are they going to try to do an ult on the side?
Yeah, they're looking for height as high as possible, and then they're probably going to rip a Valk ult and try to land. There's several corners and edges that you can play in this next zone, and only 6 squads up. Very, very thin amount of teams right now, so this should play just fine for them. They're making sure they don't get canceled. If their Valk ult gets canceled, then they're going to be in huge trouble.
Yeah, there's really not enough time. CLG, triple red shields, holding one of the best spots. Again, this is their landing ground. This is where they land. Nano with the RE45 doing some work, showing some restraint and not dropping. And there we go. Oh, no, no. No, he is walking right back up. Going to take that zip back up. Couple wingman shots there. Just said, nope. Absolutely not. And the fact that Mamba might end up going down here, and he does go down there. The Newcastle tactical kind of screwing him over that it didn't flow and follow with the terrain. You know, it was basically a wall that was floating in the air as it was moving. It did not stay flush with the ground. As CLG went from the best spot to now a duo.
That was not the best play. A little overly aggressive there, dropping a low ground. Potentially just going to get some KP, but at the end of the day, probably regretting the decision to drop down. 100 Thieves in a great spot. They do have to move about 20 yards up. They can play the wall in front of them. You see there's about a 5-yard space where they're going to be playing that wall. And this zone is similar to that of LGS Raleigh that we saw, and we had Dark Zero in this exact spot, and they ended up winning the game. So maybe a good spot for 100 Thieves. We'll have to see.
All right, and CLG now down to just a solo, trying to get the res here, but they already have a ton of kills, so this is a big point game for them. NRO also down to a solo, gonna swing here and clean up a fight that they just started. First attempt out, getting Naughty back up. Hundred Thieves with the split, holding the entire side of zone. Could this be the dub for 100 Thieves?
E8 in a really good spot. They have the main building that's fully in zone, and they also have the they don't have any defensive characters, so they certainly could get pushed. They have this is the comp we were talking about earlier, the really strong meta comp. They have charge rifles. They only have 6 bullets left in it, so yeah, 5 squads up, trying to figure out what the play is. CLG is pushing them is shooting at them from the roof. We do have the swing from Mercy on the outside. I have to be careful here. They're looking for some kills. We have 2 duos coming in from the low ground here. It is CLG that's going to be getting shot in the back from NRO. Might be going out right here. CLG eliminated.
All right, taking the kill lead spot overall, the duo of NRO. 4 squads left. We have NRO, Karasuno, E8, and 100 Thieves battling it out for this final fight on the night.
NRO, as a duo, wants to just poke and try to see if they can get good positioning here. They are getting shot on top of the head now from Team Kara. Kara's fully set up with Watson in the top, and they do have the zone pulling directly next to their building. So all of a sudden, that 100 Thieves position on the backside that I was talking about, not so strong, as they are trying to push up and get underneath potentially of Kara and play under. Yeah, they've got a pretty nice spot here with the Watson Jin and wall setup. So yeah, Kara and 100 Thieves in a really good spot.
I think 100 Thieves might be in a better spot, Andrew. Like it
Look, the zone is pulling a little differently when we're on this. You see that?
Yeah.
Looked like it was pulling more towards Kara, and now it's pulling right to 100 Thieves. So
yeah.
Saw them in a really good spot earlier, getting killed by Horizon, but they do have the Watson Jin down, and they are all hugging it. So
all right, the duo was eliminated. We are down to the final 3 teams here. 100 Thieves, Elevate, and Karasuno. Final 3 squads in the last game on tonight's qualifier. Ooh, oh, E8 said, you guys talking about good spots? Look at us as they grab the roof. Now, they can't stay there for too long, but that is an aggressive spot, and it might force 100 Thieves to have to fight Kara a little bit sooner.
100 Thieves might be getting the best into this here, as they are getting pushed from low ground a little bit.
They do not want that team to walk right up on them, and taking a couple wingman shots right to the face. Scurry will be eliminated from the fight. Have to back up, hit a bat before he's able to show face again. This is quite a standoff. Neither team is sending each other yet.
And nobody wants to be the first team to fight here with 3 squads up. That is the absolute worst thing you can do is try to send somebody right now. There's no way you'd win with that. Everyone just biding their time.
E8 might be the last team to fight, though. The other 2 teams are going to have to fight each other a little bit sooner, I think. I don't know. This fight could go any way.
Zone is pulling directly towards E8. And here comes the Horizon, the grenade.
Oh.
100 Thieves going to be so dead now that they're getting shot. And that other team might pull up behind them as well. So E8 looking super strong here on the roof.
E8 indeed looking strong, but they do have to drop down. Horizon Tack eating 100 Thieves in the air, shooting him with the RE45. What a great play out of Elevate. What a great play indeed. We do still have 3 teams up somehow. I don't know how this is possible and how any player on 100 Thieves was alive, but Elevate end up losing right there. Karasuno taking the dub overall. What a Horizon queue, though, taking all 3 of them out from cover on the wall. In a crazy Game 6 in tonight's qualifiers.
Yeah, 100 Thieves got boosted up in the air, ended up turning and looking